Today is December 31st, last day of the year, and I figured what a good way to send off the old year and to prepare and welcome in the new one. So I've got some sunny skies, and it's fairly decent. It's fairly cold out today. It's in the low 30s. It's been cold the last few days, and we got about a 10 or 12 mile an hour wind. Fortunately, a bit of a crosswind, but not so bad that I think it's going to prevent us from flying. So let's go out and enjoy the last flight of the year. All right, we positioned on the runway. We're going to be taking off to the north. Checklist is all done. Run-up is complete. Plane's ready to go. Got a full tank of gas. And the engine's warmed up and running well. So watching this crosswind, it's coming in from the left. And it's got maybe about between a 70 and an 80 degree crosswind component. I'm going to watch that leftward swing and make sure I don't weather vane off to the left into the wind. All right, the runway is clear. The approach end is clear. I see no one on final or base. Downwind is clear. I think we're ready to go. Flaps are set. Roosterville traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, departing 36, Roosterville. All right, stick back, mixture rich. Ailerons into the wind, cross track and center line, throttle coming up. Airspeed alive. Wow, it's quite strong.
Traffic.
Got a little bit of low-level turbulence, but it is clear. Got great visibility today. Well, the plane's running good. Gotta love these cold density altitude situations. Engine's making great power.
Aircraft calling in for you. You read 95 X-ray, over.
I think it's time for a little seat warmer action.
Traffic, 1.362, heading westbound runway 27.
Well, I think the plan is going to fly over to Grain Valley and then over to Lee Summit. Then maybe loop around and go take a look at Snow Creek and back around over the north side of Kansas City International and back on into Roosterville.
Kansas City, California, 2, turning on runway 27.
With these winds, I'm going to having to fight my way upwind. I think I'm going to skip the first two and just loop around the south side of Kansas City. I'll take a look at the skyline, and then back over by Leavenworth, and then finish on up over at Snow Creek. That ought to be a good 30, 45-minute flight. Going about 25 miles an hour on the nose.
SoCal 2362, and left now, 1 runway 27, descend.
Oh, let's dial up approach. 118.4.
Traffic.
American 2037, proceed direct to the final approach fix, Dustin. Figure 5994, airport 12 o'clock, 1 mile.
So what we got here,
Figure 5994, cleared visual approach runway 27, maintain 17 knots or greater till 5 mile final. Contact there, 128.2, Happy New Year.
got the Kansas City downtown skyline right over there. That's downtown. We got a few towers between us and downtown, which I'm kind of steering around. All right, I think we're past the worst of it. So those towers are transmission towers, big broadcast and telecommunications and all that. And they throw off a pretty good amount of static when you're close to them. Unfortunately, flying right over the stadium, it's a nice VFR checkpoint. But get over the stadium where you can get a good look at it, then you got to put up with the screeching of the towers.
in 2037, descend and pulse pressure, maintain 3000.
Kansas City approach, Cherokee 47367.
Cherokee 47367, Kansas City approach.
Kansas City approach, we are overhead Echo Zulu Zulu at 4,500, landing downtown.
Cherokee 367, squawk 0427, ident.
0427, ident, 367.
Well, there's downtown airport right off our wing tip. We're just outside of its airspace, about 6 or 7 miles south.
Radar contact, international altimeter 3004. Cleared to Kansas City Class Bravo airspace. Downtown is landing runway 1 with VFR conditions. Wind 2808, gust 16, altimeter 3005.
3005, cleared Class Bravo 367.
Feet. Migratory waterfowl in the Kansas City area. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. Kansas City International Tower 8 tips information Sierra. 16530. Wind 270 at 10. Visibility 10. Your clouds at 5,000. Temperature breeze, dew point -5, altimeter breeze 003. Arrival is expected, will approach runway 27. Notice to airmen. Taxiway limit closed to aircraft with wingspan greater than 118 feet. Migratory waterfowl in the Kansas City area. Advise on initial contact.
Gust 16, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 2, dew point -7, altimeter 3005, visual approach runway 1 in use, landing at prior 1, runway 1, runway 3, advisors contact, you have information, Delta. Kansas City Downtown Airport, ATIS information, Delta 15540 observation, wind 2808, gust 16, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 2, dew point -7, altimeter.
No, that's not so bad at the surface. Even downtown and Kansas City International, they're only showing 8 to 10 on the surface, gusting up to around 15 or so. It kind of matches. It wasn't until I was a couple hundred feet that I started picking up the heavier winds coming out of Roosterville. All right, we're around the side of Kansas City International. They have a little keyhole cutout aligned with one of their runways. So we're clear of the cutout, and we're going to start turning north again. We just crossed into the 3,000-foot lower shelf, or I should say we're within the boundary of the 3,000-foot shelf. We're underneath it at 2,600. So we're just going to stay relatively low. We're going to have to go down a little lower as we get closer to Snow Creek.
Southwest Southwest 5493, Kansas City departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000. Proceed direct to Keiko, resume Aaron's transition. Trick 367, downtown airport, about new hourly weather. The new weather is wind 280 visibility 10, sky clear, altimeter 3005.
Copy weather, 367.
Alright, getting ready to cross into the 2,400 foot lower boundary. So we're at 23, we're going to go down to about
4419, Kansas City departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000, turn right heading 070.
And up ahead, I've got a large plume coming off of a power plant. I don't know if you can see that, but that plume and that power plant are visible from, I don't know, miles and miles.
4419, proceed direct to Bluesy, resume spinner transition.
And it makes an excellent VFR navigation waypoint. So if you're going to Leavenworth or you're going to Snow Creek, which is just a little further north of Leavenworth, the easiest way is just to find that power plant, either by the stack or the plume, and just head towards it. Alrighty, I think it's time for some gloves.
Southwest 5493, contact Kansas City Center, 125.25, every day.
Alright, so if we were to go a little bit further to the east, let me get the camera pointed. So you can see the river right out there. And if we were to go, I don't know, another half mile past the river, we would encounter the edge of the surface area for the Kansas City International Class Bravo. And if you look straight out there, you'll just see the tower cap poking up at Kansas City International. It's off in the distance. It's white against some green trees, but that's the airport out there. What that looks like on the map here. And then you'll see a little cutout right there on the map with a magenta airport in it. That's Noah's Ark, a little private airstrip, and that's right out there. Noah's Ark is where they do a lot of skydiving, and the Falcon skydiving team flies out of there and does tandem skydives and stuff like that.
Brickyard 4419, contact Kansas City Center, 125.25, every day.
So that little cutout is designed to give them just enough pattern space to be able to get in and out without having to talk to the Kansas City International Tower or approach. You know, when they're skydiving, obviously they're going to come up on approach almost immediately because they're heading up high. But it simplifies the movement of airplanes in and out of the airport, not having to contact the tower just to get in and out. They're always a little bit paranoid because if you fly a normal rectangular pattern and you're flying on the east side over towards the surface area, it's real easy to clip the corner. So you either fly over here on this side, or you fly an extremely tight pattern if you're on the eastern side. They say if you're over the bluff, you're good, but if you're past the bluff, you may be too far over. So that's a pretty exciting situation right there. All right, Leavenworth is coming up. You can see the double-span arch bridge up there, the Centennial Bridge going from Missouri to Kansas right into Leavenworth. And then, of course, there's that power plant up ahead. And the city of Leavenworth, Lansing, is right out over here. And you can't really see it well, but right out there, we're just about lined up with the runway at Fort Leavenworth, the airport there. So let's dial up Leavenworth and see what they have to say. All right, KFLV, Fort Leavenworth, German Army Airfield, and they are at 126.2. So they also have a little carve-out in their airspace, but it's in the ring that starts at 3,000 feet. So that way they don't have to, I guess, restrict their climb. I don't know. I guess it gives them a few more options. But for our purposes, it doesn't really matter. Well, Leavenworth sounds pretty quiet right now. They turn around to the base over here. So that over there is Fort Leavenworth. You'll see some white housing areas and a bunch of red brick buildings. Many of those white buildings with red roofs are the historic buildings. And then right there is the, close to the river, that's the Lewis and Clark Center. So big school for Army officers and senior leaders. Runway is right out ahead of us. And we're going to jog around over to this other side over here. That Lewis and Clark is that sort of Y-shaped red brick building with the ponds behind it. And then on the other side, to the right of the ponds, are more of the support buildings, the library and staff offices and stuff like that. And if you look over here, those white buildings with the red roofs, that's the old prison. Now it's all been renovated. They no longer use that as a prison facility, the disciplinary barracks. It's now office space and various staff functions are there. And then if you look past the airport, you'll see some gray buildings. That's the new prison. And we won't go over there. I'm sure they'd appreciate us keeping our distance. All right, let's do this. I'm going to look back over this way. And we got the park, the Weston State Park, Western Bend State Park over there along that bluff line. Got some really nice hiking trails, and you can look straight across into this big floodplain and over to Port Leavenworth. And we're coming back up on the power plant. We'll get turned around over here in a second. Now, if you follow the ridge up into that point right there where it kind of looks like it juts out as far into the riverbed as it's going to go, and then it starts to go back off to the right. Beyond that point is where Snow Creek goes. We'll be up there in a little bit. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fly upwind of the power plant, not downwind. Even though I kind of want to be over there to the right where the ridge is, I'll wait till I get past it, and then I'll circle back in. We'll just make our way around the bend here, and we're not going to get too close to the plant. We don't want to make anybody nervous that we're doing something we ought not to. And we got our first look right there in that little valley. That's Snow Creek. We can see some parking lot and some cars. We'll come on around over this way. Holy moly, that's a big flock of birds right there. Right where I want to be, too. Gonna keep one eye on them and one eye for the next block. Which looks pretty clear. I don't see anything. All right. Oh, there's another one off to my left. All right, we got a fair amount of cars.
Skyhawk 1220, we can go ahead and cancel the flight call.
Got some good looking
Okay,
snow.
320, roger, radar service terminated. Squawk VFR for exchange crew. Have a good day.
And they're too bad.
Happy New Year.
That looks like fun. I think we're going to have to go do that. All right, Snow Creek, we'll see you soon. Alrighty, I think it's time to head on back to Roosterville. We're getting a little bit of that tailwind now, which is nice. Unfortunately, we're not really going very far north, just kind of cutting over. So we're only getting a piece of it. We flew a little further north and then kind of came zooming on back into Roosterville. We get a bigger piece of it, but that's all right. Just to put in perspective where we are, you can see the downtown skyline out there on the horizon. And then pretty much directly between us and the skyline is a big clear area. That is the actual surface of the airport at Kansas City International. It's kind of between us right now. So we're kind of completing our circuit around. We're going to clip through the lowest ring, staying well below it again. And just kind of skirt the edge right on back into Roosterville. I'm just crossing into that ring now. It starts at 2400, and so I'm at 22. Let me go down just a little bit further. I want to be a good neighbor here.
Southwest 5843, Kansas City approach, expect runway 27, proceed direct to the final approach fix Destin, descend at false correction, maintain 6000.
Coming up on the center line for the airport. We're fairly low, so it's kind of hard to see the detail. But got two runways with most of the airport infrastructure in between them.
Cessna 90864, Kansas City approach, international altimeter 3003. Now we're just coming up on the corner of Smithville Lake. And we got some pretty good little ripples blowing across the surface. That wind is putting a little bit of chop on it. Nothing too extreme. It's not
angry looking. Just moving.
Kansas City approach, Bonanza 232 Whiskey Victor.
And Bonanza 232, and what was the rest of it?
It's 232 Whiskey Victor, and I have 2 flight plans in the system. I'd like to go to Lawrence, and Midwest, we're over at Springs right now, 3,500.
Bonanza 232 Whiskey Victor, squawk 4631, ident.
2 Whiskey Victor.
Bonanza 232 Whiskey Victor, radar contact, international altimeter 3003, cleared to Lawrence Airport by radar vectors, fly heading 200, climb and maintain 4,000.
200, 4,000, 2 Whiskey Victor.
All right, Roosterville's out up ahead. Got about 5 miles to go. So we'll kind of start getting ready here. Gonna get back on 22.8. Start listening in.
We've got traffic, Mall 979, near Mike Train West, crosswind, runway 29, lead 7. We've got traffic, Mall 979, near Mike West Allen, runway 29, lead 7.
Human traffic, Cessna 50181, 2 miles east of the field, inbound to landing, runway 35, camera traffic.
Some traffic, Cap 2362, coming crosswind runway 29, lead 7.
We've got traffic, Mall 959, near Mike West Base, runway 29, lead 7.
All right, Roosterville right out in front of us. We're going to go ahead and turn to downwind. Start getting slowed down here. And we're still going to have that
We've got
crosswind coming
traffic,
to
Mall
the left.
959, near Mike turning final, runway 29, lead 7.
Roosterville traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind, 36 Roosterville.
Summer traffic, Cap 2362, left downwind runway 29, lead 7.
Going to go out and get a nice straight run in, get it slowed down, and then I'm going to aim for the very edge of the pavement, off on the right side. That way, if I get weather
Bravo traffic, Meridian 816 Bravo. Charlie's on a 10-mile final runway 17. We will be circling to the east of the field to land runway 35 Ottawa.
traffic, Cap 2262, turning left base, runway 29, and we have the traffic on final, Lieutenant.
Traffic, small 999, runway 29.
Summer traffic, Cap 2362, turning final 29, Lieutenant.
Miami County traffic, Skylane 9964, Echo is 16 to the northeast. We're at 2800, be landing runway 21, Miami County.
A little firm, but we're down. That's about the windiest crosswind I've had in a while. But aside from a little excitement, not too bad. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. It's always good to get into some conditions that cause you to stretch a little bit, and that landing did. So good to brush the skills up a little, and it's a great way to close the year out with one final flight, and I'm looking forward to 2020. Okay then.